Today I'm going to be doing an income report video, but I'm also going to be sharing with you an ad strategy that I just learned really recently from a couple of other YouTubers, which I will mention a bit later on in the video. And maybe it's something that you could try out yourself as well. But it's been really interesting and I've had some exciting results so far. So I will talk about that with you first, and then I will go on into the income report at the end. Before I start with the income report, I wanted to go over an ad strategy I just learnt. And I got this ad strategy from Kim from Your Chic Geek. I believe the actual video is here. Okay, so I will link to this video in the description. So I heard that Kim actually got this strategy from Ashley Schmidt. Sorry if I don't say that correctly. So anyway, this ad strategy basically is termed as a lottery method, and it's where you put a whole bunch of books into one auto ad campaign with a low bid amount, and you just see what happens. So in the case of Ashley, for example, she put in 1,000 books. In my particular case, what I did was I added 200 books. This was completely new to me because I've always batched books in, terms of niche. I think the most I've ever had in a campaign is maybe 5 or 6 books, and they've all been in the same or a related niche. I've never thought of putting books that are completely unrelated to each other in the same campaign, and it kind of seems crazy, right?
I don't get it.
But I thought I would give it a go anyway because I saw the results that Kim and Ashley were having, and I thought that looked really interesting. Both Kim and Ashley talk about using a low bid. Ashley used 5 cents to begin with, and Kim, I believe, went up to about 11 cents. I decided to put a higher bid to begin with. I think I started at around 11 cents, and then I still went up from there because I was getting a really low ACOS on some of the results, so I thought maybe I'll try a higher bid. I thought I'd take a bit of a risk with it and see what happens, and so far the results have been really interesting. I'm just gone on my blog just to show you a clip of some of the results that I've had just in the last couple of days. And as you can see, these ACOS amounts here, 2%, 1%, 0.75. This is an order that I had. It was a bulk order, I think, of 4 books for a notebook that I haven't sold since I first put that book out, which I think was in 2020. And then it's the same situation with the other books that I've sold. They're all either notebooks, composition books, or sketchbooks. And these are not books that I regularly sell, if ever. There is actually one particular composition book I'd never sold. The other really interesting thing that I've noticed from doing this campaign is usually it's only close match that really works with me with auto campaigns. But with this particular auto campaign, it's actually the complementary products and the substitutions, I think, that are the highest. So yeah, the ACOS is actually lower right now for complementary products, and then it's substitutions and 25% for close match. So loose match was 46% as ACOS goes. So close match is actually one of the least profitable for me in this particular auto campaign. So if you have a composition notebook in a particular niche, let's say swimming or something like that, then maybe someone is searching for something else related to swimming for their child, and they just happen to see this composition notebook that is related to something that they're interested in, and they just buy that as an impulse buy at the last minute with some other stuff that they're buying. So I think that's what's happening in this particular case, and that's why things like notebooks are really working in this campaign. So at the moment, the overall ACOS is 20%, and therefore it definitely needs tweaking on my part. That is still profitable for me, but I would like it to be lower. Now, I only have 200 books in this, but that is way more than I've ever had to deal with before as far as it comes to optimizing and taking books out and trying to figure it out. So I was kind of expecting that this might be a bit of a nightmare trying to whittle down the books to the ones that are actually going to be profitable. But actually, so far, that hasn't quite been the case because there seems to be a lot that have been profitable so far, and the other ones are just not getting the clicks anyway. I think this probably is the kind of campaign you might not want to do as a total beginner, or if you are going to do it, I would suggest maybe a batch of a smaller amount of books and not sort of hundreds and thousands, which might just get you completely overwhelmed, especially if you're not used to analyzing the data that's on the Amazon ads platform. Anyway, this is this Lotto ads campaign experiment, so I will let you know fully how that goes in July and in that July income report. But do let me know if you do give it a go, and I'd love to hear your results. Okay, so let's move on now to the income report for June in 2022. So, were there any surprises for me in June? Well, in general, it was actually a really kind of calm month. Nothing strange happened, nothing particularly unusual. I wasn't even monitoring my ads particularly closely either, and I didn't spend very much on ads, which I'll go over later in the video. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to hop onto KDP directly to show you my income for the month, because someone had mentioned in a comment that they'd want to see the results live, on the actual platform rather than a screenshot, which I totally understand, because I know that people can be skeptical about income reports and the such. So I thought I would go ahead and hop on there first and then show you the screenshot afterwards. So just to show you, this is my dashboard, and as I do this video, this is the 13th of July as I'm recording it, and this is how much I've made so far today. So this was in June. I'm not going to go and scroll down to the actual bars, because then my books will start all showing up. So after this, I'll go back to a screenshot where I can show you my highest day and how much that was. But you can basically see from here, if I can zoom in a bit, how much royalties I made per day, but I will show you that in a screenshot in a second. So as you can see, I made $5,465. So my highest day was $328. My lowest day was $80, and my second highest day was $299. Overall, that made out for a really good month for June. And just for comparison, I made $5,278 in June in 2001. And you can see it looks a little bit different as far as the actual month went, but it was incredibly similar as far as amounts go. And we're talking a couple of $100s or so. So I wanted to do something a bit different today as well, which is to show you my marketplace stats for June. I haven't done that before, so I thought it was just additional information you might be interested in. So the USA made up 46% of my total sales in June, and the UK made up for 42% in total. And then way behind that is Canada on 8.2% and Germany on 0.06%. And then I did have additional sales in Australia, the Netherlands, France, Spain, Italy, and Japan, but we're talking only, one or two sales really. So let's take a look at ad spend in June. So I'll just quickly run over my ads for June. They were a lot lower this month. In a way, I hadn't been checking as often as I normally would, and I've got a bit slack with that. Luckily, the ACOS didn't really go very high, so I was okay, but I didn't actually spend that much in ads. So in Canada, I spent $38, 38 Canadian dollars. My ACOS was very low at 12%. In the USA, I spent $82, and my ACOS was 20%, which was also fine. That was profitable. In the UK, again, I think it's the same as last month. My ACOS was 28%, and I spent £63. So 28% for ACOS is not profitable for me in the UK, because I have that extra 20% VAT charge that I'm also on top. So once I exchanged the Canadian dollars and pounds into US dollars, my ad spend was around $187, and then I'm charged 20% VAT on top of that. So that brings it to around $225. And the main other expenses are always my tools, which are around $100 a month, and I will link to those in the description. So in total, that's around $5,465, $100 on tools, $225 on ads. So in total, the profit is $5,140. But of course, I don't pocket that. I do have to pay my regular taxes, and how much you pay is going to be dependent on where you are in the world and what tax bracket you're in, and so on. So congratulations if you have made it to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has been useful to you. If it has, then please do consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell, just to make sure you get notified whenever I upload a new video. And that's all for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will speak to you again very soon.